Hello, I'm Tracy Grimshaw. Welcome to A Current Affair. We begin with the extraordinary events that led to the arrest of Robert Hughes. It began on this program 2.5 years ago with those explosive allegations from Sarah Monahan, one of the young stars on Hey Dad. Sarah is also one of his alleged victims, and we spoke to her today from a remote location in the United States.
I was so excited. I'd been on night shift and I came home and they called me at 2 a.m.
Have the police confirmed that some of the charges that he's facing relate to you?
Yes, they told me that out of there's 5 girls, we've all heard that, and I am one of the girls. I do know that some of those charges are mine.
How do you feel that in a sense, you're responsible for all of this happening?
It feels pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty validating, actually. I was at work today and I was looking at the Twitter feed and so many people have said such beautiful, nice things to me in the last 24 hours. And it really does. It makes you feel good inside to know that you've had an impact on so many people. So that also makes it totally worth it to know that so many people think that I did the right thing.
Sarah Monahan speaking to us today via Skype from Texas after being told the news she waited so long to hear. Who told you that Robert Hughes had been arrested?
Strikeforce Ruskin policeman called me and said, we just want to let you know Robert has just been arrested in England, and we want to tell you before it hits the media, that way you're not woken up by a journalist. You know, we want you to hear it from us. And they gave me very brief details, just enough, because they still had to call the other girls and let them know before it hit the media as well. But I'm sure I'm staying here, and I think everybody within a half-mile radius heard my excitement at the call at 2 a.m. So I was pretty stoked.
Was there a sense of relief?
Yes, a great sense of relief, because I guess people expect that it's like an episode of CSI where it's all nicely wrapped up in about an hour, which doesn't happen in real life. And of course, after a month and 6 months and then a year, I think a lot of people thought I was lying. I had just made the whole thing up, for money or publicity or for some other reason. It hasn't gone to court yet, but now that charges are being laid, it kind of validates me a lot.
I'm here to talk about the arrest of a 63-year-old man in London yesterday. This results of an investigation that commenced in March 2010.
Strikeforce Ruskin was set up following A Current Affairs extensive investigation into alleged inappropriate behaviour on the set of Hey Dad by its star, Robert Hughes.
We'll be alleging that 11 incidents occurred against 5 women, then girls, and our objective now is to have the person brought back to New South Wales to appear before a court in this jurisdiction.
It's really hard to look at him. I don't know how I'm going to do in court, actually.
Sarah Monahan first told her story to Woman's Day. Her explosive allegations then broadcast on this program.
People always say that one person can change the world, and you think it's such a cliche. And I really did not believe in it until it happened, and I was that one piece.
After Sarah spoke out, many other alleged victims and witnesses came forward to tell us their stories, including former Hey Dad cast members, family friends and relatives. A Current Affair was the first to reveal that the man at the centre of the allegations was Robert Hughes. Do you still think that you made the right decision by coming forward?
It's absolutely the right decision to come forward. Parts of me wish I'd done it as a 16-year-old when I decided to leave the show. But I'm a lot stronger now. I'm in the military, so I'm a soldier, and now I feel like I'm very strong and I can deal with going to court and facing him.
You copped a lot of criticism by going to the media instead of the police with your allegations. What do you say to that?
I think a lot of people don't know the backstory, and I'm not going to go into a lot of it now. I think that will come out in court. I really don't care, because the police were, they congratulated me when I came in for my interview and said that so many other people had come forward because I had been on television And I really think if I had just gone to the police first, they probably may not have gotten that opportunity to speak to as many people as they did.
Hello, Robert. Ben McCormack from A Current Affair. Robert Hughes has only spoken once about the allegations when we tracked him down in Singapore. He denied any wrongdoing.
I'm absolutely, totally shocked at the allegations, and I absolutely deny everything.
Yesterday in London, it was the police who came knocking, with even more serious allegations. Looking dishevelled, Hughes was formally charged with 11 sex abuse offences.
Well, they are serious charges. They potentially could carry a penalty up to 10 years. Again, it's talking about sexual assaults against children, as they were then, under 16 years of age.
Detective Superintendent John Kurlatek from the New South Wales Sex Crime Squad says the next step is to get Hughes back to Australia.
My objective is to ensure that at some point in time, Mr Hughes appears in a court in New South Wales.
I assume you'll have to come back to Australia to give evidence. Are you prepared for the day when you will have to go to court and see him again face to face?
Yes, I am. I think the last 2 years has given me a lot of time personally to grow and become strong and prepare myself for that day in court. And so, yeah, I'm ready.
You've had a lot of messages of support from the public?
Just so many messages, warm messages from people who just calling me a hero and all kinds of words that I really don't feel like I am. But I appreciate it. So thank you to everyone in Australia who stood behind me for the last 2.5 years.
It took courage for Sarah to speak 2.5 years ago, and she had solid support from her friends in the cast, one of whom has contacted us today to correct a misconception that seems to be taking hold in some media reports about this matter. Simone Buchanan wishes to point out that she is not one of the alleged victims of Robert Hughes and has assisted both our investigation and police inquiries purely as a witness to events 20-odd years ago and as a long-time friend and confidant of Sarah's.